Hey everybody, you can't see me, you can see Jim here, right here. We're doing a little Skype thing, and we're having a Skype thing. And we say howdy ho, Big Paul.
Out of there!
Anyway, I got a question today. I made a video the other day about the climbing the ladder in the woods, and in the video I talked about how on an adventure years and years ago, my wife and I, mainly my wife, discovered a cave full of corpses or skeletons. And someone wrote to me and asked me, I didn't elaborate on it, they asked me to talk about that. So I just wanted to tell the story real quick. It won't take long, because I think I've told it before, but I can't remember the name of the video. So you want to sit with me for a second, Jim, while I tell?
You tell it.
Okay, so this was I won't tell where. I will say that it was in Okinawa, but I won't tell you where the island is, because I don't want to keep the place. I think the place is kind of a special place. Yeah. And we were bicycling around the coast with a German couple we'd met, and we'd stopped along this one rugged stretch to have our lunch. And the German couple, we all sat there and have lunch, and Yumiko, she's a pretty adventurous lady. She'd finished first, and guess what she did? She packed her lunch back up, and we were still eating, and she stood up and she disappeared into the shrubs behind us to go off on a little adventure all by herself. So I'm sitting there with Hans and Franz, or no, Hansel and Gretel, and
we're here to pump.
Yeah, exactly. They were, sorry, if you're German, I don't mean any disrespect, I'm just being silly, but they were a really, really nice German couple. That's cheese. So we're sitting there finishing our meal, and hear the waves crashing right next to us, and suddenly we hear a scream from in the back. Ah! It's Yumiko, who's my girlfriend then. This is a long time ago. This is like 19, 20 years ago. And, what? And we stand up, and she yells, "There's dead people back here!" And we go, "What?" So we put everything down, and we go through the bushes, and it's as good a bushwhack as any softy papa adventure, going through the twigs and stuff like that. And we got back and find there's a cave back there. And inside the cave there are dozens of skeletons inside. And all everywhere, skulls here and there and all kinds of stuff. I mean, really, all bleached white. None of them were new. They'd been there a long time in this cave. And I've got to confess that I was young and silly, and I did something kind of disrespectful. I got down, I picked up a skull and took a photograph with it, and I've got that somewhere. And I'm kind of ashamed of that, and I wish I had done that. But I actually, every now and then I'm going through old photos. I'm sure you're like. You and Tomoko are like Yumiko and I, we've got a box of old photos somewhere, they just go through and it's like, oh yeah, there's that incident. But anyway, so there it was, and I kind of gained control of my senses and put it back down, and, was respectful after that. So we didn't know what this was. We found a murder site. We were pretty sure it wasn't a murder site. I mean, these things have been here for decades, if not longer. So the mystery, we had no idea. We went back, we asked the people at the hotel we were staying at, if they had any, they had no idea what we were talking about. And then 2 days later, we went to this cave on the island that was managed by this, ancient old man. He must have been in his 90s. He's, sole proprietor of this cave, and his admonition upon taking our 200 yen each to get in, he gave us a helmet and he said, "Don't get lost." The thing was barely even, it was a free-for-all. You could go down there. He said, "There's places down there we haven't even explored. Hope you come back." So we had a great time in this cave. It's just the kind of thing I'd want to adventure in. But when we finally made it back up to the top, Yumiko asked him. She said, and we'd asked a lot of different people, at vendors, at restaurants, food vendors, at restaurants and stuff. This is a small island. There's very few people on this island. But Yumiko asked the old man. She says, "We found a cave," in Japanese, of course. She said, "We found a cave with skeletons in it." And that old man, he's sitting there with his construction helmet set to the side, and he looks like a, frail old thing. And he kind of turned his head and he said, in Japanese, he said, "So you found the cave, eh?" That was the first, hint that we had from anybody anybody knew what that was. And he was more astonished that we had found. He wasn't impressed about the cave. He knew about the cave. He was impressed that we found the cave. And what I was thinking is there's probably not very many old people on that island, and many people at all that know about the cave. So he gave us the story. He told us the story of the cave, and it wasn't like a World War II suicide cave or anything like that. He says it goes back farther than that. He says that back in the old days on the island, before they had a lot of contact and regular commerce with the outside world, when someone got severely sick on the island for whatever reason, especially if there was a contagion going around, they were basically delivered to the cave and left in the cave with food and water. And if they got well on their own and came out of the cave, then they were welcomed back into the community. If the people that never came out, those were the skeletons that we saw in the cave.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah?
Okay, I've got the mic on mute.
Yeah? Hi, Tomoko.
Hi.
Hi, Tomoko.
I don't see you. Huh?
Here you are.
I'm hiding. I'm hiding behind Big Paul.
Yeah. Pause too big.
Okay, so let me see. Okay, sorry, Mark. Mark.
Oh.
Sorry, Kurt. Go ahead. Give me a kiss. Give me some love.
I'm not giving you a kiss.
You heard.
Mark might, maybe. Oh, I might. Mark. Bye-bye, Tomoko. Or Mark, I'll give Mark a kiss.
You'd give Mark a kiss?
But not you.
Not me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, anyway, sorry, continue your story.
Well, so here's the thing. I was struck by, the fact that these caves exist, and two things. The one, that the fact that the island basically just leaves them as they are. The skeletons haven't. Clearly, nobody's been put in the cave anymore, right? I mean, there's no need for that anymore. But it's just kind of left as a monument to what it was, and no markers, nothing, just overgrown in the woods there in the jungle, really. And two, by the methodology of the past. I mean, clearly you need to control disease, and especially contagious disease. And it kind of reminded me in a way, Jim, what's the story of basically taking grandma and leaving her out in the snow?
Yeah, that's the one. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you tell what that is? Tell that story?
Well, it's basically what you just said. Grandma gets too old to take care of herself, and they send her out into the I guess the forest in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know the full story.
Well, there's two things. There's one. Some people believe it's kind of a myth, but what I've read is that there is actual evidence of that it was actually a practice that was done in the especially in times when there wasn't enough resources to go around. This has been seen in cultures around the world. Eskimos, doing the same thing, putting grandpa, grandma on an ice floe and sending them out, and that it's basically a human survival technique.
Right.
And even the forest, the famous suicide forest here by Mount Fuji was apparently allegedly used in that in a way. Now, you and I both know, taking this to the extreme, that this appears sometimes in popular culture. The paramount example being Shimura Ken's depiction of that in that one skit. Do you remember that skit?
Yep.
That was skit. So where it starts off in the house and the family, and Shimura Ken is probably, who would be the equivalent if you had to, we're Americans, so we can only use our own stuff. Not Jerry Springer. What's his name? Jerry Lewis. He would be the Jerry Lewis of Japan, wouldn't he?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know who I would compare him to.
But he's iconic.
Oh yeah.
Here.
Definitely for Japan.
Yeah, and he's very typecast with kind of a physical type of humor, right? Kind of silly type of a stuff, right?
Right.
And very, very intelligent guy. He's genius as well.
Right. Oh yeah. Most definitely.
But he's got
He's a comedic genius.
But he's got that one skit where it basically starts off. I'll just go and relate it. Starts off in the house. It's like one of those old Japanese farmhouses, and it's the winter time, and the family is poor.
I've got that on DVD.
You do?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we can't show it without violating every trademark.
Right.
But it's so then basically they decide they're going to take grandma out to the forest, right? And so he puts, what is that, ombu or dako on the back?
Ombu.
Ombu. So ombu on the back, dako on the front, right? So there's ombu.
Right.
You still see people doing that sometimes, carrying grandma around. I've seen people do that, carry grandma around on the back, and he carries grandma out, leaves her at this desolate spot, this dying spot on the rock, and the crows are there. And so what happens next, Jim?
She comes running back to the house.
And she gets back to the house before he does, right?
Yeah.
And
one of them, she's got a zip line.
Yes, And he keeps on saying, "Why are you here?" She says, "It's cold."
Right. And then he takes her back out there and leaves her on the rock, and then he comes back to the house and she takes another shortcut. Yeah.
And then you can actually see them going in tandem, right? He's coming through one trail and she's jumping over bushes and stuff, suddenly spry. But I think that this is a topic that I would only with caution talk about with the Japanese. Don't you think so?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be something you probably wouldn't want to touch on.
I think a lot of them would dismiss it as a legend too.
Probably out of embarrassment if it was true,
Yeah. But
you never know.
But that cave, I guess, wasn't like that, but it was used for disease. I guess, if you think about it, I mean, if people were dying and it was clear that there was some contact element involved, I mean, you'd want to segregate them, right?
Right.
And if you didn't have medicine or any medical attention at all, I guess that's the best thing to do, I guess. I mean, how can we can't, from our perspective in the 20th century and everything that we have, we can't look back and with any fairness pass judgment, can we?
No, we cannot.
On some things we can, but not something like that.
Yeah, definitely not.
So that's my story, Jim. That's
America has plenty of its own skeletons in its closet.
No kidding, don't we? For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, was there anything you want to add to that?
No, not really.
No. Okay.
You know the stories better than I do.
Well, but it's fun. It's fun to have a chance to tell them together. That's good.
You are more into the folklore than I am.
Well, what I can remember and probably half the time I'm getting it wrong. Oh,
Even like today when we were out there working with that mic and you started talking about the trains.
Yeah.
I was just amazed that you could go on so long on the subject about the train. It's a train.
It's a train. Yeah, what color are they? Yeah. Well, hey, as long as it's a topic I know, right? I couldn't. If you asked me to talk about football, I'd be finished in a second.
Fair enough.
It's a game. So I just want to close with one thing. 10 days from now, this is completely off the thing. 10 days from now, right now, there's right at this moment that we're talking, there is a state-of-the-art spacecraft hurtling at 15,000 miles an hour towards the surface of Mars.
Really?
In 10 days, yes, it's the Mars Science Laboratory, holding the Curiosity rover, probably the most technologically advanced space exploration vehicle ever created. And 10 days from now, it's going to slam into the Martian atmosphere at 15,000 miles an hour and endure 7 minutes of descent, completely computer-operated descent, an incredible descent onto the surface of Mars, and begin an unprecedented exploration of the surface of Mars, searching for signs of past or possible life on the surface of Mars. And I just wanted to give a shout out to the Curiosity rover, which is closing in on its target and going to herald one of the most momentous scientific breakthroughs ever, or going to end in terrible tragedy as the spacecraft crashes into the surface of Mars. One of the two.
True that. And how long did it take to get there?
8.5 months.
Okay. Yeah. And how long is it going to be there?
Its operation window is, I think, about 2 years. But its predecessor, there are two rovers that were sent there more than a decade ago, and those devices were designed to operate, I think, 6 months each, and one lasted 5 years. The other is still operating right now.
So they haven't brought them back.
They won't bring them back. There's no way to bring them back. They're basically robots. They're like little cars. The last two were about the size of a kid's wagon. And they would roam around Mars and collect data. They have cameras and stuff like that. And they've been going for years. This one that's going right now is the size of your old Volkswagen.
Be nice if they could get it to come back, bring some stones or something.
Well, yeah, fortunately we can get stones from here. We actually get meteorites that hit from Mars. Periodically they're picked up. But that's in the future, Jim. That's going to happen. A manned expedition to Mars is coming up. So NASA's got it and other countries are working on that too. So it's a lot of interesting stuff.
4 to 8 months in zero gravity, could a human body stand that?
Well, I guess there's conditioning.
Let's make that 16 months because It's going to take 8 to get back.
Well, they're
Can't leave them out there.
They're doing stuff like that now with the International Space Station. Those guys stay up for a long period of time, and they're getting pretty good.
I thought they were supposed to, like, technically, I thought they weren't supposed to be up there more than for like 4 months. Now I know that some of those guys have been up there a long ass time.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, definitely going to Mars. Definitely going to Mars will introduce challenges that we've never known before. But can't wait to see what's going to happen. I really hope is you and me talking as Americans. I like to think of myself as a global citizen, but we are Americans. I know we're worried about our country. I hope that we can get back on the ball in terms of setting really interesting goals for ourselves and letting the nation and technology come together with technologies that will basically drive industry and bring and help to stimulate our economy. But what do I know?
All right, good conversation there, Kurt.
Yeah, likewise, Jim.
Sorry I couldn't add too much to it.
No, it's great just to be hanging with you. You always add stuff. Just your presence alone brings the multi-cachet of charm. Yeah, exactly. So should we sign off for now? I mean, each of us have such a busy day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk safely. There's no way any one of our coworkers is going to watch 16 minutes into it.
You never know.
Well, no, it's not. But we do. We are hardworking guys, and
That's right.
As work comes up, we do it.
That's right.
But it's just normal. It's normal. This is the time of the year. It's not just us.
Yeah.
This is the time of year when this is the cycling down period.
Oh yeah, I said to the vice principal today. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to take a half day off tomorrow." Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was that simple.
I mean,
and I told the other vice principal. I said last week. I said, "Oh yeah, I want next Monday off, the day after my show."
Yeah.
I said, "I want Monday off. You got any lessons?" Nope. All right.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you can tie one on and.
Well, I'm not going to tie one on, but it's tiring.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be late.
That's right. Yeah.
That 20 minutes on stage, 20, 30 minutes on stage, man, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. And you're not the tie one on kind of guy, actually, that much.
No.
You're more of a, you and I both learned our lesson. I think on a going forward basis, I think we can go ahead and say that here. We learned our lesson that there's a time for that, and there's a time for staying in control. And you and I both want to stay in control with our event, whatever. However,
August 25th. That's right. So everybody, August 25th, 2012, the Bronx Chair Cafe in Shizuoka City.
That's right.
Come have beers with us.
Come and have beers with us. And also one more shout out for the JVLOG forum. I mean, I'm not talking enough about it. We've got a new forum. It used to be called the Softy Papa Forum, but we've moved off and to hopefully bigger and better things, moving just beyond one name to the entire spectrum of the JVLOG community. Molly's got his place. I've got my place. Kitty's over there now, and
nice.
Yep. She's active over there, and it's there. And however long it takes, we'll see what happens. I'm over there every day.
Kitty's really good at getting involved in things. And I don't mean that in she sticks her head in. And she's really good at helping and everything. She's an integral part of the cog.
Yep. We should have. Yep. Yeah, it's good. It's really good to have her a part of that and everything else. And she has a heck of a lot of fun with her videos too. That girl loves Disneyland.
Yeah. She's been putting up Disney videos almost every day.
Yeah. Hey, but we all go. Just like me with my forest videos, and you with your big Paul.
That's right.
See, we're coming full circle on back to the thing about typecasting, right?
Yeah, there we go.
We do. But Kitty's not typecast. I mean, the Disney thing. No, not at all. The Disney thing is just what she happened to do with her mom, and I'm digging seeing it because I don't like Disney that much, but I like seeing what it's like without actually having to go there.
Right.
Yeah. All right, dude. So should we call it a night?
That is it, I guess.
What time is it? 10:28.
10:30. Yeah.
Oh well. Okay. Well, I'll sign this off and I'll get this uploading, and I guess I'll see you on the mañana.
All right, tell me something real quick before we go.
Yahoo.
Okay, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you hear me now?
No.
How did the sound change?
Okay, do it again. Do this.
Because for some reason, the internal mic and this mic are still going. When I mute this is muted now. You can still hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Or does the built-in mic take over when I mute this? That's what I don't know.
It must be taking over.
Now, when I'm here, does this sound different?
It sounds the same.
Okay, so something's not right here.
You should have upgraded to the higher quality one, huh? With the better input jack.
Yeah. Okay, Kurt.
Well, there's definitely a difference. I mean, the quality is better. When we were testing it before, there was a strong distinction.
Okay, well, I'm gonna fire up iMovie here real quick and see what I can do with it.
Okay, and I'll get this uploading while I go to sleep.
All right, Kurt.
Good night, Jim. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for helping me answer this question too. Okay. What?
Did I help?
Yeah, you did help. Yeah, you gave me a human sounding board, a venue, a roundabout, a circle jerk, so to speak, of interaction and communication and satisfaction and resolution and yes, and hopefully not penetration or impregnation.
Or ejaculation.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, Kurt.
All right. Good night, Jim. Good night, everybody. Bye.